Oh man. No. Well, my. What do we have here, my friends? Looks like it's another video from your boy playing killer. No, I'm not gonna make that an official intro. Unless, I don't know, maybe. Well, anyways, today we're flying out as promised, Germany. Today it is the 109F-4, this one being the tropical version. And ironically enough, despite it being the tropical version, which is supposed to have an increased cooling ability, I was constantly pushing the limits of this engine. It didn't overheat constantly like a Bearcat without mech, but it definitely, you had to keep your eye on it, otherwise you were definitely going to cook yourself a nice bratwurst with this engine block. But with that being said, how does the 109F-4 perform? And well, damn good. I can tell you that much right now. The thing climbs amazingly. Energy retention is absolutely stellar, as you can see. It maneuvers quite well, especially for a 109. Now, the early series 109s, E and the F, are actually quite more maneuverable than the G series is. And they can dogfight a lot more. They're not as reliant on energy trapping or slowing down the opponent. That's probably because they're a bit lighter and they have those leading edge slats on the wingtips. But what this plane does most definitely excel at is the classic boom and zoom tactics. Now, unlike 190 or P-51, it doesn't rely on it. This thing can dogfight most things. Yak 3s you're going to have trouble with. Spitfire, especially the Mark 5 variants or the Mark 9s, you're going to have trouble. But you can dogfight them. And it really helps to be in a furball with those sort of dogfights, or hopefully the enemy player does not know how to fly the plane. One thing I will hands down fully recommend the 109s for is that throttle control, or not throttle control, I'm sorry, the nose control. Even in a stall, I can point this nose anywhere I want to, and it has provided me with a bunch of life-saving clutch shots. And as you can see, we're just kind of chasing down the Spitfire. He was on my 6, but as you guys know, North and their players, especially this battle rating, are not the most intelligent people, nor do they have the attention span of a goldfish. They actually have kind of a less. And as you can see, my aim is just spectacular. As you can see, my aim is just completely spectacular. Just gonna loop around. We did survey this guy earlier, as you guys saw. I just want to make sure he dies and I get credit for the kill. And sadly, we would go ahead and carry the game. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna get jumped by those 3 players, and I would have had it under the bad, but that 109 just so managed to get the shot off and hurt my wing pretty bad. Now, what this thing does excel at, really, is just this sort of situation right here. Picking on the players that really are not paying attention to you in the slightest. They're tunnel visioned, they're AFK, they're climbing, they're slow, because you just end up above them with such a high energy state that you just take advantage of them. There's nothing they can really do besides just kind of head on you. That's what most of the time that happens. As you can see, like last match, we were positioned above the furball, and we're just going to start picking people off like a vulture. And I mean, technically any plane could really do this. This isn't really special. This is more of a positioning game than an specific aircraft type. But the 109s are extremely good at this sort of thing, mainly due to their just energy retention and their nose authority. They can pull off some of the most awkward shots I've ever seen. Now, it was a little better. I could have totally shot down that Spitfire, but it's kind of a staple at this point that I can never hit my target. It is what it is, sadly. Turn around, go for the Spitfire. We're going to blow this guy's wingtip off. Now, if you guys notice, there was a P-51 in the background who has not really done much this entire game. Come on. There we go. Right there. And he's going to have the right idea of how to fly, what to do in this sort of situation. He's coming in fast. He's diving in on us. He has the altitude advantage and the energy advantage. but he kind of fumbles on the execution. Okay, there's nothing wrong here. Nothing up. There it is. He went straight up, which you never want to do with the P-51. You can go straight up, but you have to know that your enemies aren't really paying attention. So it costs a lot of speed, and now he's going to go straight up yet again, which puts it in, well, my gun range, and that's verticals are what this 109s are strongest at. So if you are on a P-51, I would be careful. And this was just the easiest match I've ever played. Nobody at this battle rating is really trying to even play or be good at the game here, which, I mean, it's 4.0. What do you expect? Believe it or not, this thing used to be 3.7, and it was godly. I'm not even joking. You demolished everything. But people at this battle rating, like I've said time and time again, they're just so focused on getting to the next thing that they don't care what they're doing now. And it just sad. I don't mean to go on one of these rants, but it saddens me to see that this game that I've played for 10 years go from people being passionate about the aircraft that they're in, about wanting to be a pilot with these aircraft, and now it's just gone ADHD squirrel. I want the new shiniest thing, which, I mean, the game has always been about since its inception. But it's just so much more apparent than it was. Back then, you know, they added new aircraft, cool. But it wasn't like, oh, you have to have this aircraft to be competitive. Usually, 9 times out of 10, it really wasn't. Nowadays, you got things like, you know, the F-16s first came out, the MiG-29s, you had to have those to be competitive. Now it's the F-18s and the Eurofighters and the Rafales. If you didn't have those, you weren't competitive. And yeah, back then they had their top tiers, but a Venom can still dogfight a Sabre. Mark 8 Meteor can still dogfight a MiG-15 BIS. But you take a MiG-29 against even F-15E, and it's not going to go well, mainly because of the missile packages. The missiles just kind of ruins the art of dogfighting, in my opinion. Which, I mean, missiles are fun. Magic 2s are hilarious, but they're not where the skill is at, and I guess that's just kind of my opinion. I-225 does try to just deny me the kill, but I just happen to be, my aim just have to be on point this time, and kind of just flops. Yeah, good job, guys. I believe that is the last kill. We are just kind of flying towards, the main center of the base. We're trying to go help these guys. But that just gives me some time to just kind of talk about life, little plain killer tidbits here. Me being fired from my dealership job because I told my manager what to do, and honestly, I'm quite frustrated. I am very frustrated with the work because, for example, I'm religious. I try to go to church on Sundays. Haven't been the best at it the past few years, but I do try. And wanting Sundays off for me has been a requirement for any job, but no job ever sort of respects it in the slightest. They never do, and I don't know why people can't just be honest. And there's just work was just so drama, and I'm just really frustrated. Hate to bring you guys down, but we're figuring this out one step at a time. And well, this has been Plain Killer flying the F-109, the BF-109F-4, and I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It does push the algorithm so that maybe one day we can make this a full-time thing. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.